Hey friends, this is Miss Regine from SOAR Educational Services, and today we are going to talk about possessive nouns. So let's review, what do we already know about a noun? A noun is a person, place, or thing. So for example, a card, if you can put a or the in front of it, that's a noun. An apple, that's a thing. A person, the boy, the girl. The car is a thing, the place, the library, the school. So those are now. But today what we're going to do is talk about how can we show ownership. So if you look at this first sentence right here, it reads, the backpack belongs to Emma. So let's first identify the noun in this sentence. The noun is backpack. It's a thing. So the backpack, or the main noun. So we have Emma as a proper noun, and that's a different topic. We can talk about that, but Emma is a proper noun. That's somebody's name. Um, but right now we're going to talk about the backpack belongs to Emma. So now if we want to show that relationship that Emma has to the backpack, so it will be Emma's backpack. So Emma owns the backpack. So to show that she owns the backpack, we have apostrophe S. That's the quickest, shortest, most common way. You might see a sentence that says the backpack belongs to Emma, but most people are not going to speak like that. So the most common way to say it is Emma's backpack. And to show that she owns this backpack, we have the apostrophe S. So here, the cat's toy. So we're not going to want to say the toy that belongs to the cat, the cat's toy. The cat, as our main noun, owns this toy, which is also a noun. The teacher's desk. The teacher owns the desk. We have that apostrophe S to show that she owns the desk. The baby's bottle. So we have a baby here, and he owns his bottle. So the baby's bottle. So here's another example. So if we have the pencil belongs to Maria, well, no, we don't want to say that. That's long. That's a lot of words. So Maria's pencil. So yeah, this is how you would do that. So let's try some more. And this one, I will give you the sentence, and you write it as a possessive noun. So the bike belongs to Jake. All right, so take a moment and see if you can write it as the possessive noun. So we have bike, which is our noun, and Jake, which is our proper noun. And we will write Jake's bike. Okay, let's try another one. The bone belongs to the dog. Oh, I forgot the S. That's another lesson about with verbs. So yeah, the bike belongs to Jake and the bone belongs to the dog. All right, so we're going to say the dog's bone. And remember, pause the video and try it on your own first. So I'll give you one last one. So who owns what? Does the backpack own something or the student own something? It's the student. So we can say the student's backpack. Okay, so now I want to add an extra rule to this. So when the noun is plural, it's going to be very similar, but a plural noun already has an S. So we're not going to add an apostrophe S to it. So for example, if we have two dogs, all right, there are already two dogs and they own something, two dogs' leashes. They own their leashes. So the dogs already had the plural S. So we say two dogs' leashes as opposed to one dog's leash. So one dog, you do an apostrophe S. You take the noun dog and you add an apostrophe S. Now, if it's two dogs, it already has the S. So all you need to do is add an apostrophe. And they sound the same. So you will really have to look at the context if you're reading it or if you're speaking. You'll have to look at the context to see what are they talking about. So if let's say there are multiple girls, we'll say several girls. So there are many backpacks for multiple girls in here. Several girls' backpacks. So we already have the plural girls. So we just had an apostrophe. Let's say the teacher's lounge. So we'll say teachers, because it's multiple teacher lounge. Students in a class, you have many students. So students homework. All right, let's think about this one. Like the bottle that belongs to the babies, maybe the bottles that belong to the babies. So we would say, okay, so we have the noun baby, but we talked about plural noun, and if the noun ends in a consonant Y, we change the Y to an I and add ES. So we have babies because we have multiple babies now, and they're bottles. So babies, bottles. So you will have to see again in the context. Are you just talking about plural babies, or are you talking about possessive babies for singular or plural? But I mean, that is a difference for babies. And for your irregular plural noun, so like let's say children, we talk about that's the way you would write. This is a irregular plural noun. So one child, many children. So maybe children's backpack. Now notice, because the word children does not have an S. So it's really about the S. So the word children doesn't have an S. So we just put apostrophe S. Although it's multiple children. So it could be one child's backpack, and it could be multiple children's backpack. But the possessive form is the same because you just add an apostrophe S for both of these forms because the word children that does not have an S. But for most plural nouns that end in an S, you're just going to add an apostrophe. All right, so I hope this was helpful. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.